I had this friend. Oh God, I loved him. His name was Jerry Camaro, and Jerry.
Great name.
He's dead. Oh yeah. Well,
Jesus.
He rode with the Huns. He was a motorcycle guy with the Huns. The Connecticut motorcycle gang. Crazy motherfuckers. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And he was shot 4 times, stabbed 5 times. He's the one that got the idea of stealing arms from the Black Panthers and selling them back to them. That was his idea. Good thinking. Ballsy move. So he was in the hospital. He did time in jail for a long time. And then he asked to get out of the gang, which you can't do. But he'd done so much service for them. He asked to get out. They let him out. And he became a close-up magician. And we got to know each other. We were really good friends, and I loved him. And he would do second deals and bottom deals. You know, he'd take a deck of cards, he could deal them just like this, and the top card stays in place.
Oh,
he's coming off the bottom or off. So you put whatever you want on the top. You got your ace on the top. You deal as long as you want. Whenever you want that ace to fall, it does. Or you put whatever card you want on the bottom, it's there. And the thing that kills you on doing seconds is that people hear it. And if you don't know what you're listening for, that is not quite perfect. And people will hesitate for a moment. So it's, and you hear that and go, something's wrong. And they look at you. Wow. His were perfect. You get down right at his fingers and look at perfect.
Does that mean he's dealing from the bottom of the deck? Or?
Dealing from the bottom of the deck. Dealing
and
for the
can't
second.
Tell?
You cannot tell.
Can you do
cannot
that?
see it, cannot hear it. No! That's the point of the story. The point of the story is what he's doing is impossible. Impossible.
Oh my God.
So one of the things magicians do to make money, because making money in magic is a tough gig, is they'll do lectures, which means they go around to different little chapters of magicians. You know, go out to Brooklyn. There's 30 guys get together in a church basement, and they pay you a couple $100. You do your lecture. You sell your lecture notes, and then you go to Fridays with them. They buy you dinner, and then you sleep on some guy's couch. And you tour around the country. That's where you make your living doing lectures. So Jerry is going around doing lectures on his second deal and his bottom deal. And he's got a little pamphlet that he's selling, for $15. Jerry Camaro's perfect second deal, perfect bottom deal that he's teaching these guys. And he's doing it for them. He demos it, explains it, demos it, explains it. Guys come in with their video cameras, demos it, explains it. And I go, Jerry, did you tell them in every one of the lectures at the end, you say, oh, and by the way, you have to do 14 years for murder 1, or you have no chance of learning this. Your chances are 0. You need to practice 7 days a week, 4 hours a day for 14 years. There's one way to do that. Kill a motherfucker. Kill a motherfucker, and then you will... Perfect. My favorite Jerry Camaro story was Jerry was working at a place called Magic Island in Southern California. Kind of one of those phony, classy places, prime rib, all you can eat, but flocked wallpaper, And Jerry's wearing a tuxedo, and Jerry's a guy not too tall, shaved head, big beard, burly, and he's going around doing his magic act. And I'm watching him, and I'm standing in the back. There's about 8 guys he's working for, all yuppies. This is the 90s, rich fuckers, taking their second wives to, Magic Island to see some guy work. He's obviously the bottom of the totem pole. These guys are the shit, and he's working for him. He's just putting in his time. And I'm there visiting him, hanging out with him. I'm standing in the back watching him work, doing great card tricks, His patterns like this really just straight, just jokes 101 with these incredible moves, right? And he's got this asshole in the audience. This asshole is heckling him. Yeah, bullshit. Let me shovel the deck. Doing all that shit brother. They do. Just a fucking asshole, right? So Jerry says, I'll show you one just for you. He puts the deck down and rolls up his sleeves, pulls out the cards, does this 4-ace assembly, which means 4 aces come together where you don't expect them under his hands. Amazing move. Guy shuts up. He goes on with his show. We go backstage a little bit. He says, I'm glad you got to see that. I had that asshole yuppie, that stockbroker piece of shit. He said, and he was giving me a hard time, and then I did just a 4-ace assembly, and that just shut him right up. It shut him right up. And I go, Jerry, it wasn't the trick. He goes, that's a great fucking trick. What are you talking about, man? There's my perfect second in there. That's a great fucking trick. I go, wasn't the trick, Jerry. He goes, what'd I do wrong on the trick? What, you had a bad angle? I go, no, the trick was perfect, Jerry. That's not what shut him up. He said, what shut him up? I said, rolling up your sleeves. He goes, what do you mean? I go, you roll up your sleeves and it's covered with jailhouse tats. It says, fuck the world. It then says 1% citizen, 99% criminal. And you have Dennis the Menace on a trike flipping the finger, and it says fuck the world under it in big letters, and it's all done with India ink and a needle. It does not look like mall ink. This is jailhouse ink. And you say to the guy, oh, you're giving me a hard time? Let me show you something. And you roll up your sleeves.
You never saw the trick.
And the guy is not seeing anything with the aces. He's just going, guy's got fuck the world tattooed on his forearm, and I was just heckling him.
Yeah.
If I keep heckling him, that entire deck of cards is going up my ass, followed by his cock, and I'm guessing it's big.
Amazing.
Yes, sir. No, sir. From now on. He went, well, a lot of people have tattoos. I go, not like that. They don't say fuck the world. And it was this beautiful image because he's wearing a tuxedo.
Oh,
so he's like undoing the cufflink and rolling up to show this fucking nightmare. A nightmare that assholes can tell from, 50 yards away.
Right.
Assholes can tell jailhouse ink. If you're the kind of guy who goes to a bar and hassles people, you have a sense of jailhouse ink.
You better, yeah. So why wouldn't you get jailhouse ink
Yeah, exactly.
for a tattoo instead of going to the stupid mall? Right? That would be a good business, I think.
Yeah, jailhouse ink.
Get a guy who used to do it in the joint, open up a little shop.
Yeah, well, they do it
It'll
with
make you look like you're in the joint.
It was, jailhouse ink. It's amazing how everything changes everything. There was an article written, a nutty article, just to show you the kind of shit that I'll occasionally read, about how jailhouse ink changed because of cassette players. When Walkman hit cassette players, guys in jail learned how to use the motor of a Walkman to move a needle in and out. So jailhouse ink changed to the tribal patterns as soon as Walkmen got into prisons. So that's how technology changes our world.
Wow.
The kind of tattoos you had. Now, the kind Jerry had were pre-Walkman, so they were just some guy paid in cigarettes and sexual favors, sitting there with a needle with thread tied around it so it wouldn't go in too deep, dipping into India ink, squeezed out of flare pens, broken flare pens, and putting each dot in one by one just so the guy that he's serving can say, fuck the world on his forearm forever. But that's the kind of guy Jerry Camaro was. The other story I loved about Jerry was Jerry and I were very close, and I loved him. But we did not understand each other. He'd done 14 years in prison. I, myself, have not. That makes a difference in a prison.
Kind of hard to wrap your mind around.
So Jerry's on a train going to another one of these gigs. And he hadn't seen me in a couple years. And he's walking through the bar car. Jerry didn't drink, but he's going to get a sandwich. And he sees a guy, big guy, ponytail, talking at the bar, and he goes, oh, man, that's Penn. That's Penn. That's really exciting. It's Penn. It's Penn. And he starts to walk over, and as he gets closer, he sees it's not me. And he's really bummed. But he's close enough now he can hear the conversation. And the guy's chatting up this woman, talking to her about being on Letterman, and says the name Teller.
Oh,
So
shit.
he's passing himself off as me. The poor bastard.
Oh, man.
I mean, he wants to look like Brad Pitt, but the poor fucker looks like me. So that's the lie that's open to him. His possibilities are he could be Randy Quaid or he could be Penn Jillette. Those are the two choices that God has given him. So he's chatting the guy up, and Jerry walks over to him and goes, are you Penn Jillette? And the guy goes, yeah. And Jerry goes, that's funny. I'm Jerry Camaro. I've been your friend for 20 years. Hauls off, hits him in the face, decks him, knocks him down, and then says to the girl, that's not Penn, don't fuck him. And leaves. Okay?
Wow.
That's it. And he calls me up and says, yeah, I did that. I said, why'd you hit him, Jerry? What do you mean, why'd I hit him? He was saying he was you. Poor fucker, why'd you hit him? Now, just listen, I hate when you do this to me, Penn. I hate when you fuck with me on shit. Obviously, if you saw someone claim to be Jerry Camaro, you would have hit him. No, I wouldn't. I might not have even said he's not Jerry Camaro. Right. I might have just sat and watched and laughed. Okay, you're an asshole, but you're friends. There's no friend that you have that wouldn't have decked that guy. I said, there's no friend I had that would have decked that guy. Don't you know anything about honor and respect and how you deal with your friends? Yes, and they don't include hitting some poor bastard who's trying to get his dick wet by saying he's an ugly guy on TV. And Jerry and I mean, it was a major argument over the phone with him going, listen, I'm just going to, I know you're fucking with me. I know you do that. I know in my heart that if someone claimed to be Jerry Camaro, who's going to claim to be? No, but if somebody did, that you would have hit him in the face. No! Yes, you're just fucking with me. I would not have hit. No, but that was the world's.
Man.
And Jerry would be in a magic store, and someone would say, Penn and Teller on Letterman last night. Not my favorite bit. Over the counter, guy against the wall. What the fuck? He's a friend of mine. That was a good shot on Letterman. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. He goes, none of your friends would allow that kind of trash talk. I said, all my friends would.
Yes.
Most of them would join in. Most would join in and say, I don't know about the trick, but man, the joke he went out on, he sucked. He also looked tired, and he's getting fat. I think he's getting really fat. He looked about 30 pounds heavier than last time I saw him, and his hand is trembling on the fucking double lift.
Oh,
he was like a 12-year-old. And what was that fucking, what's he doing? He's doing a Lonnie Anderson joke? I mean, what was the fucking joke? Is he like, how old is he? Is he 110? The whole spot sucked. And you can see Letterman uncomfortable and throwing it to commercial early. I love the guy. Good friend of mine, man. That would be him. But Jerry, anybody was terrified to say a word about Penn and Teller around him.
Wow.
And that's the kind of loyalty that we don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, if you saw someone claim to be Anthony, you jump up, smash him right in the face.
I would take my phone out and record it. I'd be like, check this guy out.
I saw somebody pretending to be Anthony. You know Miss Hitler.
Jesus. We only have a couple